How's it going? Thanks guys for joining us. Saturday night, midnight tea club. If music's too loud, let me know. I'm going to post this around. I still got to figure out one or two things. Still working on, I've only done like 7 of these now, so I'm not a super expert. Trying to figure out how to get it to go back on the big screen. So I think I got it, but then I didn't get it. So it's all good.
If you click on that,
no, it's not analytics, so it's all good. I'll figure it out because we did it last week, and yeah. Oh. Anyways, but we are live. We've got some teas here.
We're gonna drink Jade rabbit tonight.
There we go. That's what. View in live control room. Then I can close this one. Makes sense. Pop out the chat and everything. Make it so it's easier to do. Awesome. Very cool. Got it figured out. Ready to go. But actually, I'm going to post a link to Facebook. See if we can get some people to join in. Jake Knapp, ni hao to you too, man. Ni hao to you too. What's going on? We saw you were doing a little live stream thing the other day too. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's super good.
It's nice. It's good to get some more live tea streamers out there. What are you drinking tonight, Jake? You guys can hear me, right? I think so. I should have the microphone. Remember. My bad. I'm clicking the wrong things. All right, you guys. I got it set.
People can hear you now.
People can hear me. I got the music up. We're gonna get started on some stuff. Let me post something.
It's so funny how people spell ni hao.
Yes. Well, I think he's joking.
I know.
I think he's joking.
In Chinese, I love you is 我爱你. So we have been joking about like 我 means 5 in Chinese. And,
yeah. So yeah, my joke with the kids, right, is 我爱你 is, so I show kids 5 because that's 我 in Chinese. Then I point to my I, and then I point to my ni, and so they know. That's our secret language with our kids. Let's see. Join us for midnight
sitting on some
tea
old
club.
street at the moment. Yeah. Oh yeah, 我爱你. yeah. That's pretty awesome.
Let's see. Join us for some.
Your Chinese is getting better.
Yeah, your tone pronunciation is incredible. Yep. Jade Rabbit and the
Pian.
Huang Pian
Mega brick.
Boom. All right. There we go. Where are we at?
I like this record.
Yeah. We've got some music live streaming from Chill Hop. They're pretty cool stuff. Partnered with them. They let us put some music on our stream.
Is the music voice okay?
Yeah, Jake, how's the volume of the music? Can you hear the music? Needs to be up a little higher. It's so hard to get the volumes and stuff right remotely.
I feel it's a little loud for me.
Well, the thing is, the microphone doesn't pick it up because it's set to kind of do just voice pretty close. So last time people couldn't even hear the music, so and I don't have a way to like pipe it in like direct yet. So but we'll get there. All good on my end, says Chris. What's going on, Chris? How you doing? Yeah, we were running a little bit behind today, out with the kids this evening, and had to run home to make sure that we got here in time. Let's get a little bit more in here. Got here in time for midnight tea club because this is fun. It's a fun time of the week. It's good mix. Good. As long as you can hear it, that's good. Let's see if anybody in the Discord wants to pop on. Man. There we go. What is it? Is it Saturday? Saturday?
Yeah, it's
I
Saturday.
remember. Saturday. Yesterday was Friday. I don't know how I can like not talk about the last episode of Mandalorian because
maybe somebody hasn't watched
I know
it yet.
if you guys. That's the thing is like I can't. I literally just can't talk about it because I know. I'm sure there's some of you that haven't watched it yet. But man, last episode of Mandalorian. Wow. Feels like I'm a
I think
kid
Ray
again.
Is very emotional.
It was emotional. It was very emotional. It was very emotional episode for
I
me.
think since you grew up with Star Wars, so we have different relation between the Star Wars.
Yeah, Llama's like, oh, hey, that's interesting. This thing happened. And I'm just like, what the? Oh my gosh, you have no idea. No idea. But, oh man, if you're not caught up, Jake, don't read about it. I did watch past the credits totally accidentally. Well, I mean, I like watching like the little like pictures and stuff and the concept art, and so I'm like, hey, there's no concept art, and then Llama and I are just sitting there chatting.
We were chatting about the episode.
Didn't turn it off. So much to go on. We're sitting there talking about it.
We even forgot about the screen.
Yeah, I totally forgot the screen was on, and then there's like a fade to black, and then a fade to two suns. I'm like, oh no, what is this? And then that whole scene was just like, what? So good. Oh, Jake, you're gonna love it.
Music was awesome.
If you're not caught up, gotta get caught up. I was hoping Orlando was gonna pop on. I was having a conversation with Orlando earlier, and he didn't realize that he was 1 week behind. He watched last week's episode yesterday and thought that was the end episode. He's like, yeah, dude, it's really good. It's emotional. It got me. And then I'm like, wait a minute, you didn't even watch it. Oh man.
He has to watch every episode before it's released.
Whew. Yeah. All right, let me so the water's going. I got some stuff here.
Good evening,
Let me
Ken.
go ahead and
Surprise.
Ken Inahuku, what's going on? Surprise! Hey man, did you watch the last episode of The Mandalorian? I mean, no spoilers because I know there's some people in chat that haven't seen it yet, but like, whew, wow.
You made me want to drink the whey.
Yeah, it makes me want to drink the whey.
Oh, that's
pretty funny. Oh, there was so many good lines in that episode too. That was just it's pretty awesome. All right, let me toss a little Instagram promo. Tell people to get in here, and then we'll get started. We'll get started with Jade Rabbit first. Zealousy, what's going on, man? Thanks for popping in. Bulong Elemental Dragon Ball last night. It was way better than the last time I had the Bulong Ball from the previous Elemental series. Yeah, it's interesting what different years can do for sure.
I was just going to ask which year. Yeah, 2019, 2020. I think we use different region.
It's both Bulong, but it's not exactly the same material, which makes sense. Bam, there we go.
Maybe next Saturday we should try our Dragon Ball.
Yeah, we could do some elemental stuff next time.
Yeah.
Been trying to kind of like focus a little bit on stuff that we've got available in the Seattle inventory, just to kind of help people who.
It's not exactly same material and it's not exactly same garden.
Bulong's such a big area.
But it's different year.
Yeah, it is a different year.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. So, what are you drinking anything tonight? Zealousy? All right, look at that. There we go. So we're going to be brewing in one of my favorite little teapots. Putting in just a little bit less leaf, but it's not fitting.
Yeah, for me, I like previous year Bulong Ball a lot because that one for me have more tea energy. That one is more stronger.
Yeah, it was a little bit more potent.
This year the body is more thick. Yeah, it's very different.
But I'm going to start off with Jade Rabbit. Jade Rabbit's good stuff. Jenny Paul, can I ask a dumb beginner pu'er question? Absolutely. You can ask any pu'er question that you want. And while you do that, I'm going to show off a little teapot, wood-fired, dragon's egg shape with a hand-carved lotus on there. Gorgeous little
Gentry teapot, yep.
Gorgeous little beauty from Jen Shui. Yeah, anybody can ask questions.
Don't worry about it.
I like answering questions. There's no dumb questions.
I remember the first year when we were in China, we asked lots of questions.
Always asking questions.
Now I think about it.
Does all ripe pu'er taste like leather? No, but I can show pu'er, ripe pu'er has less variation, and because of that, there's not as many descriptors, and I can understand where like a flavor note like leather would come from.
Yeah, and Chopard all went through the wood, which is like a fermented process.
Yeah.
So it definitely have the same.
But I mean, to answer your question, no, not all of them are going to taste like leather. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I actually tasted leather specifically, but we like to try to find show pu'er that is outside of the standard flavor profile. And it's tricky, but as they start doing more like small batch, like really interesting show pu'er things, you're starting to get more variation. But I like to describe, hey Joshua, what's going on? And Cody, hey, I like to describe show pu'er and sheng pu'er like instruments. If show pu'er is like it's like a guitar. You've got a lot of variation, classical guitars, like electric guitars. But at the end of the day, like there's only a finite amount of things that there's only a finite amount of music that a guitar can make. It can do a lot, but it's still limited. Sheng pu'er is like an orchestra. There's just instruments going on all over the place, and I find that way kind of helps to describe it. So you can get a lot of variation inside of show pu'er, but it's still just show pu'er, if that makes sense. Let's see here. Post this on Instagram. Join us for.
I'll put it in water here.
No, give me a sec. Just let it chill for a sec. There we go. You can smell it now that it's opened up. Let's see.
Smell really good.
Yeah, I like.
Very fruity.
Need to get Lucy in here. Lucy loves.
Jade Rabbit.
Lucy loves Jade Rabbit.
I can smell the tea we blended.
Mm-hmm.
Especially.
The secret stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some good stuff in this blend. There we go. Bam.
You can make 1,000 different sounds on a guitar, but you always know it's a guitar. Yeah. Makes total sense.
Great. I'm glad that I'm glad my analogy worked. So yeah, if you haven't experienced a lot of variation inside of a show pu'er, we've got a show pu'er sampler pack that does some really good job of kind of like showing the variation. There we go. It's nice. What was I going to say? Yeah, and it also it can sometimes depend on your brewing conditions. Show pu'er, I find that show pu'er really shines when you use a lot of leaf and you steep it really strong with boiling water. Sometimes if you use some other parameters that you see for other teas, and maybe you're not using much leaf and you're not using very hot water, I can see how it could all taste much more similar. I would encourage you to attempt to brew gongfu style. Use a decent amount of leaf, quick steeps, and use really hot water. Show pu'er really shines in that. And
if it's good show pu'er.
If it's good show pu'er, yeah, of course.
Otherwise, hot water will bring all the character of that tea.
So we've got somebody throwing down a ton of emojis. Third Eye Boogie VM, and I don't get the secret code. What do we got here? We've got some snowballs. We've got some fingers. We've got some sushi and avocados.
Make me hungry.
Maybe it's a.
Poor hungry.
Maybe it's a robot. Maybe it's a food robot. Third Eye Boogie VM, what's going on? What are you emoting about? Yeah, Jenny, you're right. It's a definite learning process, and I don't know if I'll ever really know all there is to know. I'm kind of hoping that I don't learn all there is to know, because it's that versatility that makes it interesting and exciting for us to keep learning.
Why we're trying to just focus on pu'er tea.
Yeah, as a business.
Itself is
just the
already
pu'er
have
tea.
So much to learn.
Oh yeah, that comes out nice and strong. Mr. Remakes, what's going on? Got a pot of herbal tea tonight. Testing out a newly crocheted tea cozy. Very cool.
The first
Very cool.
Reminds me of the butter tea.
Yeah, just like that. In what way?
It does have a butter tea. Just emotional, feels like butter tea.
I thought I might throw a post on Reddit tonight. Only leave it up like during the duration of the yeah, get a little bit more in there. It's getting low. Only leave it up like for the duration of like the tea tasting, and just be like, hey, if there's anybody else out there and wants to join us for a live tasting session, like pop on here. So testing a peppermint tisane. There you go. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of peppermint. This time of year, peppermints in everything. You know, peppermint eggnog lattes, peppermint
hot chocolate,
candy canes, peppermint and candy canes, peppermint and cookies. So it's a nice time of year for me because I like peppermint a lot. So when you say you're testing it, what does that mean? You're testing it.
We prepare for the holiday.
Preparing for the holidays, you got to figure out like which peppermint tisane is ready to go for the
meals.
family.
Yeah, that's smart.
Drinking some Hiding Black. I'm not sure what Hiding Black is now, but you had some Jingmai Ripe earlier. Liter 5, you're on liter 5 for tea. Yixing. Drinking some Yixing Black. 5 liters of tea. You said 5 liters of tea today. That's a lot of tea.
That's a lot of water, liquid
That's
too.
a lot of tea. It's a lot of tea.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think the last time I drink that much is in the tea festival.
Let's see. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna post it Reddit. If you're still up this late, join us for some live tea on YouTube.
You can post RT or R4.
I'm posting it to RT, and then I'll delete it like right afterwards. Easy. Damn.
It's rice. It means rice. I love rice. Sushi rice.
It's rice. It means rice. Awesome. I like rice as well. We eat a fair share of rice in our household.
I think back in February before the pandemic,
Right.
I went to the Asian store. I bought a 5 bag of rice.
But
And
each bag was bags of rice at the Asian market are
it's like
50-pound
my size.
bags. So
Yeah.
we've got enough rice to last her for a month. Teasing. She eats a lot of rice, but
We're almost done with the rice. The 5 bag lasts us a year.
we're almost done with the 5 bags.
Mhm.
It's time to go back. We gotta get some more. We do eat our fair share of rice out here. What do we got? Peppermint is very Christmassy. Absolutely is. I love peppermint. First time enjoying this peppermint tisane. Testing whether you like it. Oh, okay, cool. All right, so it's a little taste testing thing. I didn't know if you were like in the tea industry and you were doing something like that on an official capacity. That's cool. Boom.
Jenny Powell. Hi, I think you might notice how fluent you have to be in Chinese to live in Yunnan.
You need to know a core set of stuff, but
As long as your phone has internet,
as long as you have internet,
you can bring your phone. We know some of the people just come to Yunnan, they don't know any Chinese at all. And when they do the tea tasting, they just bring the phone. So, but even not many people know English. But people are really helpful there. So, and we know they also offer some quick Chinese class. You can have intense Chinese class for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Then you are ready to.
Yeah, but still, the trick is just reading the characters and knowing what the characters mean. So if you've got an app on your phone that you can kind of scan and stuff, you can get pretty far. But if you really wanted, and it really depends on how adventurous you are. If you're the type of person who just wings it and figures it out as you go, and you've got a book and you're ready to make a fool of yourself and just figure it out the hard way, you can do a lot more than people would realize that you can do. There's hostels there and there's buses, and it's relatively easy to get around if you can work it. Lucy, there she is. I knew she'd have Jade Rabbit in her teapot.
Jade Rabbit is in my teapot. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Let's over second, Steve.
45 wants to know if chocolate or other sweets go with pu'er tea. Absolutely. Absolutely, they absolutely do. Spend some time experimenting with different chocolates. At the Northwest Tea Festival, there's
it's like 5 years ago, one of the lady did a tea pair with a
chocolate and tea pairing and paired each one.
She said dark chocolate may be better with
Dark chocolate and pu-erh work pretty good together.
Yeah.
You could probably there's probably some people here in the chat that have experimented a little bit with some tea and chocolate. No, tea and chocolate can work really well.
And also, we did an experiment, the pu-erh with some sweet dessert and ice cream. It turned out really awesome.
Yeah. Our first year we were doing a lot more experimentations with pu'er and cooking and some stuff. You can there's some fun stuff that you can do with a pu'er tea. Third Eye Boogie VM, all he has right now is some herbals for health, not for taste from Giant Eagle. Well, there you go. No, herbals count as long as your herbals are probably better for Midnight Tea Club, anyways. If you're caffeine sensitive,
Yeah.
we generally get a little wired, then we go to bed, and then we actually like wake up and we're still like.
Every Saturday night.
It's Michelle and Derek,
Hi,
the winking cat in the Shung Junkie. Are we on the big screen?
That's awesome.
How big's my head?
What time?
Are we on a big screen?
What time on States now?
They've got to be 11:30, right? Or 11. You guys pretty close to midnight, right on the dot.
Club. That's perfect.
So, Derek, Michelle, did you guys watch the last episode of The Mandalorian? We're not talking about any of the spoilers, but I just want to know who saw it, because if you haven't seen it, then wow. There's Orlando. Speaking of people who who only just watched the last episode. Did you actually finally watch the last episode? I got like a message on my phone from you.
Oh, it's almost 1 a.m. That's crazy.
Okay, yeah. So, but yeah, Orlando, you did finally watch it. Michelle, good. I'm so glad you guys watched it. Oh my gosh, like I
almost cried.
I think today I was a lot more emotional about it than I was last night. But like today, I was just thinking about it and just trying to explain to Lamu like the depth of the meaning in that last episode for me. It just sort of like choked me up a little bit, and then I can't explain any of the other stuff. But oh my gosh. So, all right, this is the funny thing. I was chatting with Orlando yesterday, like, dude, did you watch that last episode? He's like, yeah, man, it was great. And we started talking more and more about it, and I realized he hadn't watched the last episode. He was a week off. He had a week off shift, so he watched last week's episode this week and thought it was the last episode. And then I found out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, you got to stop right now. Go watch it right now. And so he did. I thought that was so funny, man. That's great though.
Oh, I love this, Steve.
So glad I couldn't.
Very good at stringency. I think that's the way.
Unbid 45 is on Walking Dead. Nice. Yeah, when you get done with Walking Dead, do not dig into any of the spoilers on Mandalorian Season 2. Just like, the other thing is out right now, The Expanse, Season 5.
Oh, yeah. Did we finish Season 4?
We did. We finished Season 4, so it's on Season 5 now, so we might have to...
What's going to happen?
I don't know. I don't. If you guys have started watching The Expanse Season 5, don't let me know what's going on with that, because we haven't started yet. But
so many
yeah, a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff. No, yeah, that last episode of Mandalorian, so good. Pretty excited about it. Very excited. That's awesome.
Oh, such a good astringency on this one.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice little steep. Let's get some more in here.
Super thick, fruity notes. And very juicy.
Yeah, it is juicy.
Yeah, the first steep for me just reminds right away how butter tea tastes like.
Yeah, that's interesting. Lama drinks a lot of butter tea when we're in China.
Yeah, every year.
But we've explained that before.
Yeah, if every year we go back to China, I can drink some butter tea. I haven't drank for a year now.
We can make you butter tea here.
It feels different, and just myself drinking it is different.
You can drink it with the kids. Get the kids into it, so that when we go back to Yunnan, then they're gonna be ready to go with it. Yeah. Post some pictures to Lost in Yunnan, making some
butter tea.
Making some butter tea. There's just no yaks.
Christmas butter tea, yep.
It's too much. Zealousy, 7 new shows. Zealousy enjoyed the last episode of The Mandalorian, but 7 new shows. Is it seven new shows? You're exaggerating, right? There's the Ahsoka series. There's the Obi-Wan series, which is also the Vader series. It's funny. And I don't know if Boba Fett's getting a new series or if Mandalorian is just gonna have like another combined thing again, because they're both like supposed to be December 31st. So Hard to know. Yes, Third Eye Boogie VM. Yes, don't let. I'm being very, very tight about what I'm saying. I haven't revealed anything, but it was a very very pleasant surprise. In fact, if you'd actually told me that was what was going to happen in it, I probably would have been like, yeah, whatever. That's not even. I wouldn't have thought it was that good at all. But it's just so good. Really good way to tie together a lot of things that I think the last movies just kind of threw out. Orlando says, what else are they going to do if everything else is closed? All the bars are closed, the theaters are closed. It's not like people are spending, like $50 billion to go watch Star Wars in a theater, so you might as well have some really strong episodic content.
I was worried about because coronavirus, they cannot shoot the movie or TV show. I guess they still keep going.
Well, I think they've been doing it. I think they've been doing it the right way. I mean, they've been, limited production. They work with crews that maybe stay on site, and they all have been tested ahead of time and stuff like that. Or maybe they do daily testing. I know they've got access to all sorts of.
I was thinking maybe this year no movie will be released. I was like, whoa.
Well, I think for a while there was a big hiccup. Like some of the movies. I think John Wick was in production, and I think that had to get pushed back. The other Matrix one was in production. I think that one had to get pushed back. So I think a lot of stuff actually got pushed back. Movies, but I think maybe the TV shows were able to keep rolling a little bit.
I forgot how small this teapot is.
It's a tiny little teapot.
Yeah.
It's a tiny little teapot. Two-person teapot.
Yeah,
we
usually put 10-gram tea in the teapot, but this one we only need 6 grams.
Yeah, we only need 6 grams in this guy because it's a teeny one.
Very sweet right now.
Well, nobody's downvoted me on Reddit yet, so I guess that's a good sign. Reddit's such a silly place. I love it. I love Reddit. I've been a part of Reddit for many years, but it can be a little bit unpredictable.
Actually, I go to a website. It's kind of like Reddit, but it's all Chinese.
Oh yeah.
They used to have upload and the download.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of this year, they just disabled the download, so you can only upload, which is kind of nice.
It's kind of funny. Lucy's talking about Tom Cruise having a meltdown, yelling at the crew that wasn't following guidelines. That's just kind of Tom Cruise, though, right? I mean, and he's also, isn't he like director, producer, executive producer, and does everything on those? So I mean, it's kind of his deal. So if it's his deal, he can probably get a little strong on people. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if that was All right, what do we got here? Anime is growing in popularity, Orlando. Well, I think anime's been growing in popularity for a long time. That probably explains why a majority, of our customers are, under the age of 25. I blame anime entirely. It's Uncle Iroh. Uncle Iroh is getting all the kids into tea these days.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we watched lots of Japanese cartoons.
Yeah.
Which is really fun.
All right. Oh yeah, that's right. Shung Junkie is into wood turning now, which is kind of fun. I like making some fun pens. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, yeah. Somebody's talking about chocolate, intriguing chocolate. No, this is
It's so sweet, this tea.
It's super sweet.
That's
What
sweet.
steep are you on, Lucy? Are you drinking it super fast?
We're at the 4th steep, right?
I think our 4th steep. We actually had some tea earlier. We're drinking honeymoon. So who got a chance to watch the interview that we did with Stasia yesterday? The interview was a lot of fun. I was really excited that Stasia was down for joining us for tea, sitting down and chatting with us. It was a lot of fun, and we're gonna keep doing the live interview tea sessions as well. Oh, Orlando's drinking Honey Bomb. Nice. I'm glad.
How was it?
So glad that teas are starting to arrive and people are getting them, and all of our 2020 teas finally arrived just in time for 2020. Oh, heavy-handed, 14 grams and 110 Gaiwan. Nice, dude. Yeah, we had that the other day, and it's really nice because it's just starting to really push forward those
honey notes.
Jingmai, the Jingmai Yun, the Jingmai honey essence.
Yeah, after compress, you need a little bit time to settle down the in there.
Joshua wants to know where you can buy that cat card deck. I think you go to like, there should be a link from Stasia Burrington's illustration Instagram page. So just Stasia Burrington. I'm not sure what her site is. It's stasiaburrington.etsy.com or something like that. Or and I think she sells everything on there. You could message her on there. Etsy.com, Stasia B. Oh, but that page isn't working. Ruh-roh. You could maybe it's just down temporarily.
Maybe we should put the link under the YouTube interview yesterday.
I did. I put a link. I put a link to the Instagram.
Yeah.
Her cat deck. Do I have it right here?
Yeah, right there. I saw it.
I knew it.
Super cute.
There we go. The Magic Neko deck. This is what we use for
poker.
Cribbage and poker.
I'm happy you brought us to the men's.
You're the
poker
Joker.
night.
Oh, I can't. It's kind of hard. It gets washed out in the video there. Some fun cards.
I think each card is different kitty, right?
Yeah. Here's a ninja cat.
Yeah, I told Glenn we need to come up a cat tea. People love
a tea
cats.
cat. A cat tea.
Yeah.
Michelle would get some, wouldn't you? You'd get some. You'd get some of our cat tea. Cat tea. Yeah.
I think lots of people love cat.
Maybe we should work with Stasia to come up with a cat themed tea. Steep 18. What are you guys talking about? Steep 18. Who's on Steep 18?
Is that Lucy? Oh, Steep 18 on the Jade Rabbit. That's awesome, Lucy. Yeah. I think this tea just can brew forever.
It's a really good long.
That's what I like a Jade Rabbit. I can drink it the second day.
Well, Joshua, you were the one telling me about you just had Kunlu Gushu like just this last week, right? I think you were the one telling me about that. Oops, steep this one a little long.
Oh, everybody loves cats.
Yeah.
I think if we don't travel as much, we would love to get a cat or pet. Yeah. But since we travel to China,
it's hard to have
so
pets
hard.
since we spend so much time overseas and things. Oh, Michelle had a Bengal. Those are bigger cats, right? I had I'm fond of Maine Coons. Yeah, Joshua got 21 steeps out of the Kunlu Gushu. He said it was really.
A Kunlu Gushu?
The Kunlu Gushu. Yeah,
Nice.
I always get a little bit stressed when I have an amazing experience with tea and then I really like push it and promote it. Like I just, especially a really expensive tea like that, I just hope that it performs as well for customers.
Yeah,
and so it's really glad when I get feedback from you like that when it does, because it makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah, especially if you build up those high expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people will have, different. Yeah, it's different strategy. Yeah. Yeah, some of the good tea, even after you steep, you can just boil it into the water, like boiling for like a half hour.
Yeah, did you do anything with the leaves after that? Did you boil them again, like nice and strong? There we go, that's good. Toss them into a pot and boil them up. You want to with a tea like that, especially at that price, you really want to get as much as you can out of it. So.
And Gemma will eat all the leaves.
Gemma loves eating leaves. Every single time we have a tea tasting session over here, she comes over and she's just like pulling leaves out of the gaiwan. It's like just munching on it. It's awesome.
It's kind of awesome. We don't have anything to be wasted.
Well, we did have one idea about a cat themed design cake. It's about time we got another Stasia design. I think we could.
Tea ready.
Work with her. We've got one blend that could go. It's got to come up with a good name for it. Got to put some thought into that. Get the old tea thinker going.
It's almost spring for next year.
Yeah.
How time flies.
I know. Yeah.
Almost done with 2020, everybody. We made it.
2 more weeks. So, speaking of tea interviews, I think it's is it Wednesday? This Wednesday. Let me double check. James from TDB. We're gonna be doing a tea interview with him. If you guys don't know who James from TDB is, I'm sure most of you guys do. But TDB, TEADB, DB as in database. The TDB, TDB.org. James and Denny are
knowledgeable.
like some of the foremost authorities on pu'er tea in the West. Very active blog, very active video tea tasting resource. They've been working together for a long time. We were on one of their first episodes 6 years ago, probably like that, episode 8 or something, which is kind of fun.
Earlier one, yeah. They are in this area.
Yeah,
so
they live local.
Close.
They stopped by, and so James agreed to do a tea tasting with us, and I might be able to get Denny on, do another one in the future, which is kind of exciting. And then so that's on the.
Let us know if anybody you guys are interested to.
Yeah, if you guys have some ideas about who you'd like to see in an interview.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Who said that? Who said that? Oh, you want Tom Cruise? Me and Tom Cruise drinking tea. If you guys, if you get, she's just listing all the American actors that she likes. If you guys have any connections with Tom Cruise, get Tom Cruise into Wednesday afternoon, the 23rd. A little bit pre-Christmas tea. Wednesday the 23rd at 2:30. It's gonna be James with TDB, and then after that, I think we get Uncle Michael. Uncle Michael will be coming on the week after that. So we've got a nice little boom. Got a nice little collection of nice little schedule of people that are gonna be coming on for tea interviews, which is kind of exciting. Oh, there we go.
Definitely.
Yeah, TDB is very cool. Have I had Burmese fermented tea leaf salad? I don't think that I have. I'm familiar with it. We've had pu'er tea, fresh leaf in dishes in Yunnan. They cook with it. They make like omelets and things like that. And so I've not had the Burmese fermented tea leaf salad, but I've had pu'er tea leaves and other stuff. Yummy. I've seen some pictures of it. It'd be pretty cool. Probably not too bad.
Sour and bitter, I guess.
Yeah, if it is, for sure.
But
all right, let's see. What will we be tasting with TDB? That is an excellent question. I left it up to James. I was like, James, you can pick whatever you want to taste, and I will ship you out a sample, and then we'll get together on the video. And James picked The Way, so we're going to be drinking a show pu'er. So
I was going to ask you to let people guess what tea you picked.
I should have let people guess, but
because I guessed many, but I didn't guess right.
That was it. James picked The Way, so we're going to be drinking The Way together, which will be that'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun because I don't think we've done a video on The Way yet. We did some on Instagram back when we first got our cakes in and stuff, but we've not put much exposure on it, and it's perfect timing. This is the way. Let's get a little bit more water in there if we could.
Yeah, I tried to, but this teapot is so small, so I noticed it doesn't drink as much water.
All right, that's fine. Just put a little bit on the top, and then I'll turn it down, and then I'll heat it up when I'm ready to go. Perfect. I should get Ree from Tea Curious. I'll message her. That's a good one. Get Ree on. Ree's always fun to have tea with. Always fun.
Yeah, it's so nice to see her every time when she comes to visit.
Jenny wants to see the Oolong Drunk or the folks from West China Tea. I did actually talk with Oolong Drunk about it today, so Oolong Drunk will definitely be coming on in an episode. I've not reached out. I don't think I've ever actually chatted with the people from West China Tea, but I'm familiar with what they do. Oolong Drunk's totally down. He's always excited. We'll probably end up brewing Honeymoon, which is the tea that he actually helped us. He helped us produce. I mean, he gave us some interesting ideas, and so I was just like, all right.
He and
Evil Ducky worked on the art, and so.
And the name.
He's just like, he's like, this is the type of tea I'd love to see, and I was just like, all right, we can work it out and make it happen. So, and it actually turned out really nice. It's a pricier one. It's generally I wouldn't personally blend at that price point because I find it a little bit difficult. It's a little bit pricey. $100 a cake is a big investment for a lot of people. I generally try, and if I have the ability, price things to blend them down just a little bit cheaper. But that's a good cake. Honeymoon's really good stuff.
Maybe we can do next week or something. I love honeymoon.
No, we've got I got the because next week is James, and then
Saturday night.
oh, just for midnight tea club,
Yeah.
Christmas tea club. We can do it at Christmas tea club.
Honeymoon.
We can do honeymoon next Saturday night for sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey, look at that! Lucy's following Michelle now. Awesome, that's cool. That's
And my cup is also made by her.
yes, that's right. This cup was
Beautiful. I
made
have
by
inside.
Michelle, which is great.
And a little turtle teapots.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, Michelle actually does some pretty awesome stuff, and this is one of our little tea pets.
Used to be white.
Used to be all white, but now it's not. And if you've ever seen my skull tea pets, so I made these, but Michelle actually fired these in her little kiln. So she's
Very talented.
we miss having her just down the street. She used to fire stuff for us all the time. What locations would you recommend as more affordable alternative to Laumana? Well, it's easy to get more affordable than Laumana because Laumana is pretty pricey. But
Wait,
autumn Laumana, I mean,
and Lamang Huang Pian, the
Yeah.
stone line we have.
yeah, autumn Laumana is very affordable and just as potent, almost as potent.
Yeah, I think people find Lamang for the affordable for the Laobanzhan.
Yeah. Yeah.
That area is Hokkai's strong enough.
No, Hokkai's really gentle.
One of the places we've been.
I mean, I'd say something like Pasha or Naka, but those are still
expensive.
also super expensive. Those teas that really operate like at that level are going to be pricey wherever they are. So it's hard to really find cheap Laumana unless, like I said, see if you can find some autumn stuff or
Even
or
younger
Huang
tree.
Pian. Or some younger tree stuff. There's some decent younger tree material.
Yeah, Lamang they have two varieties. One is sweet, one is bitter.
Yeah.
I think sweet is a little bit more expensive than
Yeah.
bitter. Yeah. What character you like about Lamang?
Yeah, what is it that you what are you looking for, Cody, in your Laumana? Look at that. Awesome. Michelle, you're selling some tea pets. Nice. You gotta I've always been trying to encourage Michelle to make more teaware because she does really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And the more Western ceramicists that can get into making gongfu teaware, the better, in my opinion. I think it would be really great to see more, and you are starting to see it. You're starting to see more Western potters focusing on making nice, small, like gongfu style teaware, moving away from like the big like coffee style mugs and things like that. And so I'm really excited to see
Who's the guy we bought?
Mark
Yeah.
Mark Moeller. If you guys aren't following, Sanguine Teapots. I actually just messaged him. He was in Seattle for a day, popped in to grab some stuff, and then he drove here from Georgia, and now he's driving back. He had to pick some stuff up.
That must be very important stuff.
I guess he's moving, buying a house or something like that. So, yeah, Mark Moeller from Sanguine Teapots.
Yeah, I think he went to Taiwan to study for a year.
Studied in Taiwan, yeah.
Yeah, but very good teacher.
I know, Michelle, we miss you being down the street.
Oh, that's so fun
For
to
sure.
see you every year.
But it's nice to hear your stories and adventures from your new place over there. But we definitely miss having you around for sure. Yeah, the turtles, the turtle tea pets are a lot of fun. Cody wants a tea that gives a bitter hit. Yeah, so pu-erh, I mean, like the whey certainly does. The whey's got a nice strong bitterness to it.
Their split personality. That one is pure Laomeng Gushu pu-erh. That's why that tea is
That's why it's
expensive.
also really expensive.
But that tea, the pu-erh, have good bitter, have lots of potent.
Does the bitterness of Slumbering Dragon do it for you? Because that's an entirely different type of bitterness. I'm just trying to think what all places have have a really strong bitter kick. There's a lot of areas around Bulong that can have some
but
good
if a
some
pu'er
good
have
bitterness.
bitter is not many pu'er
Not a lot
is
of
bitter.
pu'ers that have bitter.
So yeah, the weight definitely have a little bit, and their split personality.
Yeah, split personality is pretty good. But yeah, if you're trying to find like a strong bitterness that's also cheap, that can be that's the trick. That's the kick. That's the kicker.
Yeah.
Orlando has a Gaiwan he's gonna send us. You got a Gaiwan for us? Orlando finds really fun, cool, interesting things, and sometimes when we meet up for tea, he gifts us with some fun teaware. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Send me a message. I'm curious to see it. That's pretty cool.
We got this little piggy from Orlando.
We did. We got that little piggy from Orlando.
Gemma really liked to play with it.
Yeah, Gemma broke off his tail.
Oh yeah, Gemma.
And I think one of his ears kind of like when the kids play with the tea pets, they're a little rough.
But she's getting better.
Yeah, they are getting better. They're just takes them a while to learn. Like I came out the other day and my like PlayStation just had like crayon markers all over it. It was like, all right, well, new case art. A little bit more tea in there if we could. And and then I found like a whole bunch of CDs had all been just like shoved into it. But apparently Sony 4 saw that as a possibility, and I pushed the button and like 3 CDs all popped out, and so I was like, that's good. It's good. I'm gonna like let it go for a little bit. Get this one going. Oh yeah, one of the custom pots that we commissioned him to make. Nice, you got, because we only had like 10 of those, so you got one of those. Yeah, so this is like something like that Mark Muller did. This is one of the test ones that he made for me. I really I liked it. I haven't been brewing with it as much lately, but I probably should. Maybe I need to do that. Actually, I need to message Mark and get him on an episode of Between Two Teapots.
Yeah, that'd be fun
And
to
then,
see his adventures.
Yeah, hear about all of his adventures in Taiwan. That would actually be actually fun. I'm actually finding that like the 1 hour like interview format just like goes by like that. Like the episode with Stasia, all of a sudden it was done. It was like, well, oh, okay, I guess that's it. But been trying to keep it a little shorter because these tea tastings here, I'd be sitting here like 2, 3, 4 hours if I didn't stop myself. Nice. You find some good, decent teaware at garage sales sometimes. You're starting to see more and more of that. You know, you start to see interesting little things at like thrift shops and stuff. It's kind of exciting.
We can always find something Goodwill.
Yeah. We used to find like little Yixing and Goodwill, and now that I know more about like clay teapots and stuff, I know that they really weren't like anything quality, but it's still kind of exciting to see that stuff being available. Secondhand market in the U.S. It's nice when
cool.
I like to see, or it's interesting for me to see when people are selling our teaware secondhand.
Yep, it's kind of awesome.
No, it is. It is super awesome. Oh, my phone. iPhones and batteries, they just don't work.
Do you want me to bring your charger?
No, it's all good. It's just a Reddit comment. Let's see what they said. Do we get some in there? There we go. I got it. Let's get it going again. Troublemaker is aggressive. Lucy says Troublemaker is aggressive and really layered. That might be something you'd be interested in, Cody. Yeah, no, Troublemaker's worth trying. What all of our teas have you tried, Cody?
Cody, haven't tried the Slumber Dragon yet. Yeah.
Oh, what does Ben say here?
你好.
I am not as good at reading the Chinese characters, Ben. But ni hao to you too as well. Zealousy says C1, Paul, and TDB have a sort of end of the year retrospectives with tea takeaways. Do you have any hindsights having gone through this year? This was a horrible year for doing international business. In every possible measurable index, we've worked really hard to keep our head up and maintain a positive attitude and continue making good teas and good content. But basically every single thing that we did this year was 5 times more difficult than it should have been, and it's
shipping was so hard.
My takeaway from this year is I'm glad it's done. You know, we're gonna look forward to 2021. You know, take the positives that we can. Like these live tea tasting sessions. Once I finally got all the technical kinks worked out and got them set up and going and regular, have been really, really nice. Really nice for us, even just emotionally, to feel like we're a part of the more interactively a part of the immediate tea community. You know, we used to host lots of tea tastings here at our home, and we haven't even had anyone in our home since February. So having these was really nice. I'd even say therapeutic, cathartic for us, absolutely. But other than that, no, 2020, not a great year. Not a great year.
We are unable to travel back to
Yeah.
China.
So it made everything harder.
Yeah.
I'm super focused on quality, and it's very hard for me to find somebody that I really trust the way I trust me, and having to do everything for our tea production this year, like 100% of it remotely, was specifically challenging, because I'm there watching them every single minute.
We didn't have like new farmers. We just work with the farmer we work for many years. We know they're trustful.
Yeah.
And we don't have many Teaware this year, because we usually like to be there and just watch each steps and want to inspect each Teaware. So this year we can't do it. So we decided didn't order teapots. Yeah.
So for example, like our Genshui, I mean, you guys might not realize it. I mean, when we put in an order, we try and get as much as we need for the entire year, and maybe that's going to be, I don't know, 500 teapots or something. I test each one like by hand myself, and I separate them out into two categories. Like which are the really nice ones and which are the ones that aren't as nice and they're flawed, and we can sell them at a discounted price and set the other ones aside. And even the potters in China that we work with don't really know why I am that picky. they kind of make fun of me sometimes, and
every time they saw you coming, they
kind
of get nervous.
They're like, oh great, like here comes the foreigner who's gonna like scold me because like all my handles are crooked and the spouts are off center, and they are getting better every year, but the quality of the clay in Genshui is generally higher than the average quality of the teaware that is produced, in my opinion. And I'm comparing it to something like Yixing, where the level of quality that they have put out reliably for a very long time is the absolute best in the world for what this stuff is. And that's the standard that I hold Genshui to, and especially when it's teaware that we're going to put our name on and sell to our customers, I want it to be at that level. But then if the teaware doesn't come out perfect, it'll still brew good tea, and so that's when we kind of like separate it out into like a cheaper category.
Yeah.
Factory seconds, as it were, or something like that. But if I'm not actually there, I find it really hard to even explain to other people what I'm looking for. Losing track of the chat. You guys got me riled up on the 2020 conversation. Unbid 45. It's got to run. Thanks, man. I think you probably already logged off. What's coming here?
You're multitasking. Yeah. Amazing work.
Trying to. Slumbering Dragon is wonderful tea. Hey, Tornham, what's going on? Yeah, Slumbering Dragon is a very, very, very potent tea. And if you guys haven't had a chance to try Slumbering Dragon and the steep price of the cake puts you off, take a look at Baby Dragon, which contains some amazing tea art from Stasia Burrington, but also has a very high percentage blend of Slumbering Dragon material in there, mixed in with some other stuff in the area to kind of give it some balance. And it is
very unique experience. You won't find a tea like that. Once you drink it, you know how it tastes like. They even look so different than other teas, smell different. And the age even make it so magic for me. Like 1 year compared to the next year, it's so much different. How much potential the Slumbering Dragon.
Yeah, our Slumbering Dragon
edge.
from like 2014, 2015 is really,
so different.
really good. Cody says, almost grabbed some Troublemaker last time. Ordered. I've had Intrigue, small bit of Daydream so far, as well as Holy Flame. So if you're looking for potent bitter teas from us, Stone Lion. That's the Huang Pian.
We also
The Autumn Lao Mana Maucha, the loose. That's very strong, very potent.
we also have a sample for the sweet and bitter Lao Mana. If you want to say what's
The sweet bitter La Mana tasting set. I mean, those are just samples. That's pretty good.
50 gram. I can't remember. Yeah.
Let's see. Zealousy, we did Zhenshui Gaiwans 1 year, and the Gaiwans were very nice, but the potter was not listening to me at all when I described what I wanted, and he made something entirely different, and I was thoroughly disappointed. But we still had them and had to sell them, and they were really nice, but they were not good at brewing. They were not good at brewing pu'er. In fact, we got that feedback from most of our customers as well. They ended up really liking them for green teas and brewing green teas and things like that, but they just did not. They didn't hold the heat. It's too thin. Very nice, very delicate, very well made, but it wasn't what I wanted at all. But it was what he wanted, and yeah, had some issues with that guy. He kind of became a cocky little something or another after.
Yeah.
He was in like some tiny little shop, and we come in, like I liked what he did, gave him a bunch of money. He took our money, like moved into a big shop, kind of thought he was a rock star, and then he's just like, yeah, well, I don't really want to work with you guys anymore because I can sell my own stuff now because I'm a big guy. And I'm like,
yeah,
great, man. Okay, all right. Well, you didn't even really make the stuff I wanted you to make anyway, so.
Just find another person, yeah.
It's this little back channel behind the scenes Crimson Lotus tea stuff going on there. Let's see. Ben says, do the different colors of Zhenshui clay have much effect on the brewed tea? I think the white clay does, but the rest of them don't so much.
The rest of they are all already blend together.
It's all the same clay.
They're the same color that the classic brown color.
Yeah, so you got your so I mean, yeah, well, like this one here. That's the classic unpolished Zhenshui, what they call the purple clay, the Zhenshui Jitao.
Yeah, these are 5 colors, but they all went to one shop. They all pre-made.
Yeah, there's one or two like main blenders there who take the different colors of clay that they have there and mix it all together. Some of the smaller shops will kind of like do their own custom one, but that's still pretty rare. And so then that turns into like this when you actually do a polish on it. But the black that you get like this, that's just smoke in the kiln. So that's literally the exact same clay.
The
but
outside look different.
they, in fact, you can actually see it. See how that one chipped right there, and it's got like the red underneath. So it's still like the purple clay. But the one that is different is when they do like the pure white. And we actually don't have any here, do we? When they do like the pure white clay, I think the pure white clay will have a little bit different. Will have a little bit different effect on the tea. But the rest of them, I haven't really noticed concrete differences between, like the brown clay or the black clay. In my mind, though, like I always put show pu'er in the black clay, and I always put sheng pu'er in the red clay. That's just in my mind. I've not actually found any reason to do that. It's not entirely true.
But I think the taste difference when it's wood fire or electronic.
Oh yeah, if it's wood fired or electric.
You can tell the difference.
Yeah. No, this teapot here will absolutely taste different than the other ones. Though the wood firing certainly has an effect, and a lot of that comes from the wood ash glaze, the buildup of residue and stuff that actually like puts it into there. It probably changes the exterior surface of the clay as well. I'm getting a little bit behind in chat. If I haven't answered your question, you can just repeat it again. I'll try to check it out. Orlando has one of those Gaiwan. So you actually like it? Do you use the Gaiwan for pu'er, or do you use it for something else? They were nicely made, but they weren't what I asked him to make.
love to see a Crimson Lotus Genshui Gaiwan in
Yeah,
2021.
I replied to that one. Yeah, Zealousy also says, keeps coming back to his Genshui pot. Many different clay teapots, but Genshui makes great show. Taiwanese oolongs, perfect size for 1 or 2 people. Yeah, that was another thing, is working with the potters in Genshui directly. Nobody was making small teapots. They all wanted like 250 ml, 300, 400, and they want to make big pots. It's a lot of work to make the small pots. Found one shop that was willing to work with us on that, and but they made fun of us. They were just like, they were like, oh, like, do Americans have tiny little fingers? You have tiny little teapots for your tiny fingers?
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious. It's like 5 or 6 years ago, right?
Yeah.
That time mostly it's big teapot.
Yeah, and then we were actually specifically disappointed because like they made like, so let's say we first year or whatever ordered like 50 teapots, and so they make 60 in case there's any extras or breakages. And, we went through the time of having stamps made, getting our name on their special boxes and wrappers and making it all look, like really nice, like a really comprehensive little package. Just wanted people to be excited when they got it and opened it up and everything. And then the lady was just like, yeah, it's so weird. Like, we've been selling your little pots like all day. And I'm like, well, what do you mean you've been selling my little pots? She's like, well, these, Koreans came in and they were like, those are the little pots that we've been looking for. And I'm like, but why are you selling my pots? Like those, like, and so yeah, they'd just been like, selling off like the extras, which I would have bought. So they made like 60 and we ordered 50, and they're like, well, we got your 50 here. And I'm like, well, but like those are like, that's my
stamp.
order. Like that's got my stamp on it. Like that's my company like pot. And now you're just like selling it to like some other person. I was like, wasn't happy. And we found them another shop doing that again, like a couple years after that. Actually, I found our pots with our stamp on them being sold on other pu-erh websites, Western pu-erh websites. And that, I was just like, who's selling these pots? And the message back to the potter, and they're like, oh, well, yeah, we didn't remember to give you all of the ones that we made. So some guy came in and bought them. And I'm like, we even saw them for sale in another shop in Genshui. That was like bizarre. I walked by, like, do like a triple take. I walked in and I'm like, pretending to be like a dumb foreigner, like, oh, hey, these are really interesting. What does this mark on the bottom mean? And they're like, oh, they made up like some story about, like, oh, it's just totally BS, like, oh, like the red lotus clay is actually like the best clay that you can get in Genshui, and they just totally BS'd all of them. Like, oh, that's interesting. I'm like, Lamu, call our potter.
Yeah.
Tell him to stop selling our teapots to other shops in town. Tell them to stop like BSing about the red lotus clay.
We have to be very serious and tell them, we will buy that. Oh, if you have overstamps.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, that gets particularly frustrating to me. But it's,
Yeah.
like, it's more, you guys are learning a lot about the Crimson Lotus tea behind the scenes stuff in Genshui. Actually, one funny thing was I was browsing one shop, and there was like some like film crew in there, and the film crew was just like, hey, do you want to be in like our like Genshui like video? And they thought I was just like some tourist. And then they started asking me questions in Genshui, and they're like, so have you ever been to Genshui before? Like, oh yeah, I've been coming here for like 6-7 years, like order hundreds of teapots. And thought that was pretty funny.
That one is on the website. People can find it.
Yeah, there actually is on what was that company? It was like a documentary filmmaker in
Genshui, I think for
China.
For the government's for promotion Genshui Town.
So yeah, found the video online. That's me. They're chatting with me about it.
Yeah, it was fun every year. I miss going back.
Third Eye Boogie VM has some clay. You've been sitting on it for more than a year. Haven't done anything with it. Do you do ceramics? Are you gonna make some stuff? What kind of clay do you have? You have Genshui clay.
Hey, that reminds me, we do have a brick of clay. We bought it. We made it for tea pads, for a couple of them.
Oh yeah. I've got some. Yeah, I was doing some stuff back when Michelle was still here and could easily fire some stuff up. I haven't actually made myself a kiln yet.
We can move to some shopware.
It is time to move to some shopware. So we will keep steeping that. Gemma can have some fun with it. Mañana.
I think this one will steep 10 more times.
Oh yeah, this tea could keep steeping. Stamp my website on it in the next batch. Yeah, http://www.crimsonlotustea.com. Stamped on the bottom of each one.
Everybody to our website.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way to do it. That's thinking. That's thinking ahead. Well, let's go ahead and get some extra stuff in here then. And I will grab another Jade Shui. Since we're brewing show pour, this is the first Gen Shui pot that we bought. It was on a discount table because it was all busted up. It's got some broken parts on there, and this is the one that we use exclusively for show pour. So we're gonna brew up the Huang Pian Mega Brick. It's our 1 kilo super brick of show pour. Really good stuff.
1 kilo?
QR code stamped into the clay. White clay QR inlay. You guys don't realize like this. Every single thing that you're suggesting adds significantly to the cost of the Teaware. I can absolutely do all of these things, but you're going to be paying $25 extra.
The QR code is so popular in China right now. So in China, you can purchase a tray for a couple years. So once you purchase, they put a QR code.
Yeah.
So you can scan, then you know who is the owner.
Who
of
owns
the
that? Who owns that?
That's very smart.
Tree.
The QR code is everything now.
Yeah. You could do that. And there's some doesn't Dai have like their scan the back of your wrapper and verify if it's real or not. So do a lot of that stuff. Yeah.
Tea now. Maybe we can do that.
I'll think about it. It's a good idea. Good idea, guys.
And the QR code is everywhere. Sometimes it's dangerous because there's a QR code you can scan and get a reward. Sometimes you're driving, you can see people scan while they're driving. It's like, oh, no, that's not smart.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea.
It's not. People in driving in China. Don't even get me started on the topic of driving. There you go, Chris. RFID chip. Just put an RFID. It might not survive the kiln firing, but RFID is the future. All right, let's give this guy a try. Any other interesting ideas? Yeah, scan your teapot while driving.
We saw some video of people brew gongfu tea while they're driving. Maybe just for video. I don't know.
Yeah, no, there was a fun video. Was that it was a
TikTok?
Oh no.
Hot pot.
No, the guy was in traffic and he got super stressed and he slammed on his brakes and he ran out and popped open his trunk and pulled out his gongfu sign.
I think that's a cartoon on the Reddit. Somebody posted.
It was a cartoon, right? It wasn't. I'm trying to remember. I'm getting spaced. Losing track. Chris has speaker manufacturers that put them in the boxes because the counterfeit market is so bad. Yeah, but the thing in China, if you're having your speakers manufactured in China, that company would just manufacture the exact same RFID and they would put them in the fake ones and then they would just sell them in China. And so that's and it's literally the exact same thing. So that's the trick. That's interesting though. But yeah, no, the fake market and all that stuff is pretty disappointing for people that actually work on creating things.
I didn't realize how important the patent knowledge is because when we were a kid we didn't realize that we can download the music whenever we want to.
Yeah.
And when we can just copy and paste a picture and just use it. Never thought about
that somebody actually put time and effort and energy into creating it.
That. And in China, we can watch all the movies for free. You can just download from website. I was just thinking, how do they make money? But now I understand.
I think I'm gonna use this cup. Is this one I got from you, Orlando? Did you gift me with this cup? I think you did.
I like the texture.
I'm gonna brew this one. Yeah, this one kind of has like a brain texture on there. That light's too bright, so. Yeah, the gray market in China, Lucy says, is huge. It's really funny. There are hundreds of Apple stores in China, especially, even in Kunming. Every single one of them, there'll be 12 on one street. They're all the same. They all are convinced that they actually work for Apple. So it's the funniest thing. There we go. Crawling Shino wood-fired cup. Yeah, this is a fun one. I use this one for show pour when I can. Thank you very much. John says, "Are you guys starting Jade Rabbit? Are you guys on the Huang Pian?" We are just starting the Huang Pian. Just finished Jade Rabbit, which was quite nice.
Yeah.
Chris gets LinkedIn requests from these businesses daily. It's really frustrating. I can't imagine being the manufacturer. Yeah, I see that a lot in the creatives industry, and I follow some different manufacturing industries and things like that. And the China process surrounding supporting international patents is a real big issue for China. So funny thing, like we were super secretive about our gongfu to go, specifically like who we were manufacturing it with, and the design of it, and who we showed it to. I didn't talk to anybody about it in China except for like the person who could actually manufacture it with us, like made them sign documents that they would like only manufacture it for us, and only sent it out to like one or two like tea reviewers ahead of time. Told them not to post any pictures of it online until we could actually like build a little marketing thing around it, get all the stuff in China, get all the product like done and finished and all of that. And literally less than 12 hours after I posted it onto our website, like in America, crimsonlotustea.com, made an Instagram post. The manufacturer who made it for us in China got a message from a customer, or got a message from somebody in China who had taken all the pictures off of our website, sent it to them, and they're like, I want you to make this for us. And they're like, can we make this for them? I'm like, no, you can't. But it was like less than 12 hours, and they had just.
I think they are watching.
Yeah, they're intently focused on what is successful in the West, and they work very quickly. There's a lot of difficulty right now on the the crowdfunding sites, like the Kickstarters and things like that. The people who have got some idea but they don't have the capital, and they're like, well, I'll tell you what, like, hey, I'm going to start a Kickstarter, and when you put that information on the Kickstarter up there, those are really good ideas, and you can see every single day which Kickstarter gets like top funding, and you got companies in China that sit there and just wait for that, and then they can get it to market quicker. They literally just straight up copy it because most of the people haven't gotten their patents yet. And so by the time they get their patents and get the manufacturing all stuff sorted out, they find out that there's a identical product that's already on the market. It's pretty bad.
Is it even possible to enforce copyright law in China?
No.
I think China does have a copyright
China
law.
has copyright laws.
Yeah, but enforce will be really hard. That's why not many people in China really created something. I remember one of the artists created some special instruction, and immediately Taobao was selling it.
Yep.
And his is more expensive, so he cannot sell it. Then he sued the other company, and then those top company actually sent people to.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Him. It's just like
it's really easy to send professional bullies to other people in China.
So he actually cannot even make money off his own products.
There was another one. A Chinese auto manufacturer copied a BMW design, a BMW vehicle. They copied it. I mean, down to the bolt, like the thread pitch, like every single thing. It was a literal straight up copy of it, and BMW had all the international patents and everything in place. Took them to court in China, and courts in China are Chinese courts, and they're like, no, it's not. It's not against the law. So
maybe they're trying better now. I don't know.
I think they really have to, or people are just going to not work with Chinese business, Chinese manufacturing.
They actually encourage more Chinese people to create this stuff,
Yeah.
because there are people there can't create it, Yeah.
Yep. There we go. Get this show on the road. Lucy says they're trying to sell you a Canada Goose jacket for $300 and the retail is $3,000. Llama bought some interesting some clothes online from China once. It's like there was a trend about.
It was on the Facebook.
Yeah.
Come out. That picture looked so good and it was so cheap. It's like $15 for a jacket. I said, how could it go wrong? Just $15.
Yeah.
So
like,
ship all the way here. Oh my
refunds,
goodness.
free refunds and everything, and
there's
the
no
clothes didn't
restocking
even
fee and shipping
well,
fee.
I know, but they're telling you that there's free refunds
yeah.
and
Basically,
stuff.
if I return, I got $1, $2 back for like $15 jacket.
Yeah, and you had to mail it back to China and stuff.
It was just nothing like.
Didn't look anything like the picture, and it was so funny.
A bunch of money.
So yeah, your $300 Canada Goose jacket made.
I should know if I pay for $15, I got like a $5 worth stuff.
Oh, you probably got even less than that. It's so funny. Interesting thing, about China and the cities in China. I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk 2077 lately. Night City feels a lot like Kunming. It really does. And people have been making comparisons to like Tokyo and stuff like that. But I think it much more matches some of the non like big cities in China, you know, like Beijing and Shanghai and stuff like that. I think those have a higher end professional feel, but Kunming for me and Night City in Cyberpunk 2077 feels a lot the same, especially, you know, you got your the whole thing that Cyberpunk's about, high tech, low life. You see that a lot in Kunming. You know, you can see like absolute like, you know, like poverty and garbage at like the low level, and then like super mega expensive, you know, like cars driving by, and, you know, like giant apartment complexes and stuff.
Broken road.
Broken roads, and then like super high, super mega roads that they just finished, and they just keep building and building and building. It was interesting.
I used to live pretty close downtown, so I saw I live in pretty good building.
Yeah.
But after I've been here so many years, I come back. I didn't realize how old my home looks like, and all the new house look more fancy. So the area used to be center is not center anymore. It's look like more like old.
Right. Well, it probably was. I mean, even manufacturing, you know, like residential and commercial manufacturing skills in China in the last 30 or 40 years have changed dramatically, right? Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, even a home that was made 30 years ago, which I think your apartment building was, maybe 20 years ago, 25 years ago, something like that. So it's like 25 years old.
I lived 15 years ago, probably just 15 years. Maybe
okay.
It looks old. I don't know. Maybe the building doesn't last longer. I don't know. Looks old.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, and they do they manufacture things a little bit differently there. They put a different focus on things. It's all cement, and just a lot of cement. Third Eye Boogie VM has Yixing clay. It doesn't work with clay, but had an idea for a pot. That's pretty cool. I would have been interested if you had Genshui clay. Genshui is really tight. They do not let Genshui clay out. They're very tight about it. They will make it super easy for an artist that wants to move there and start working in Genshui clay, but they will not let the clay leave. So I was gonna be surprised if you had some Genshui clay. Smuggled it out in your backpack. Lucy was chased down the street in Shanghai, and I was like, no thanks. Oh, yeah, there's some really fun videos about, you know, like foreigners going there and pretending to be like super ignorant, not speaking much Chinese, and working on barter, see how down you can get it. Like, it's great, like watching some of Lamo's relatives, or like Lamo's mom or dad and stuff like that. They barter like crazy. I love it. I don't think you really like bartering much, right?
It's embarrassing
now that you've been here. Like, I mean, her parents would be like, oh, it's like going down, like, you know, and like once they got the person all the way down, so it's like not even possible to like even go it anymore. And then if the person agreed, then her parents would be like 2 for 1.
It's like so embarrassing.
It's so funny though.
Sometimes I would get so angry, so I don't even want to talk to my parents anymore.
And one of Lamo's cousins was so good. Like when we were in Tibet, we were in Shangri-La, and I was there with my family, and my brother wanted like a hat or something like that, like
a Tibetan hat.
Tibetan hat, a big fox fur like giant hat or something. She went in to like to negotiate for him, and she was like, oh man, she's just yelling at the person. She's like stomping her foot. She's like, this is how dare you do this? Like, this is outrageous. And you're like, you're embarrassing me in front of these foreigners. And I'm like, sell it for like $1. He's like, I know what you pay for that.
Yeah, it's a game like the seller and the buyer play. That's why I come to US. I'm just surprised nobody negotiation price. I was just like, I just feel uncomfortable.
We do. Anytime we have like a tea market, right?
Yeah.
No one will negotiate price, but then there's always like 2 or 3 Chinese people that come up, and they will always like be like, I'm gonna pay you half for that cake, and I'm like, no, you're not. I'm like, I'll give you some free samples, and then they sit there and they're like bartering with me. I'm like, that's the price.
I think probably
that's
in the Asian culture, because we just doesn't feel good not negotiation in the price. Yeah. Usually, if you you can get some good deal out of it.
Yeah, no, I think it's funny. It's just it definitely is a cultural difference, but we also don't.
I think Chinese seller, they already build up the price to give you a negotiation room.
Yeah, so. At least, I mean, also like if I'm looking for something in Kunming, or if I'm in China or something, I see something I like. Lamo and I never shop together at the same time, right? We'll always be shopping near each other, and I'll see something in a store, and I'm like, I really like that thing. And then I'll come back, I'll find it, and I'll tell Lamo I really like this thing in this store. And then Lamo will go in, and she'll look at it, and she'll be able to barter it down. But she can actually start at a lower level because it doesn't have like the tourist tax on there. Like if I go in there and start to barter it, I'll get it down to the price that she could get it for without even bartering. I'm losing track of the chat, guys. somebody was talking about Cyberpunk 27 in the Deus Ex series. Yeah, Deus Ex goes into definitely spends time in like Hong Kong and some of the Asia big cities and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And yeah, you'll definitely see more Cyberpunk set in China. Actually, one of the interesting, I thought it was really interesting in the series Space. I don't know. What was it? Firefly, was it? Yeah, Firefly. The Firefly series. I thought it was really interesting how they basically their future was English and Chinese, and all of their. I liked how they swore in Chinese. Just this idea that in the future there's only like two civilizations that really melted. Once Earth expanded, you had the Chinese and you had like the English. They kind of melted into cultures. Oh, excuse me, guys. Sorry if that was loud. Chris is drinking Intrigue, a good midnight tea. Very nice. Yeah, mystery makes. Haggling is a skill. I don't have it. No, I don't either. I also, I mean, I want to pay people. I feel bad. Like, if I have like something, like some handmade like wooden beads or something, and the guy's sitting there like making the beads for me, and I'll be like, sure, I'll pay you $10 for this thing that you just made for me, and then I'll go home and show it to Lamu's mom, and she's like, oh, they robbed you. They robbed you. They robbed you. She's like, you should not have paid $10 for those handmade beads. I could have got them for $1. I'm like, yeah, I know you could have, but like this person, they're worth it. And they're like, they just took you. They took you. They saw you coming. And I'm like, I know, but like I would have felt guilty if I paid this guy $1 for this thing that he spent an hour making for me.
Yeah, I think I've been changing now since I feel bad for people just such little money.
Third Eye Boogie VM is talking about a pot, Gongdao Bay, both connected. Not sure if the idea is blasphemous. I don't really believe in the idea of blasphemy in the tea world. I'm sure at some point in time teapots were blasphemous before teapots were made, and people only made brewed in gaiwans or something like that. I don't know.
Definitely Gongdao Bay those connect. I think they have.
Yeah, go for it, man. I mean, if it's you, like make
it.
Make it.
Yeah.
Make it.
It's handy for you to make it.
Yeah, Jenny Paul says too shy to do the bartering. I like to have a little fun with it in China. With my limited Chinese, I'll go in there. But if it's something that like really serious, like I really want it, and I definitely don't want to pay their price.
I remember in China one time there is a store sell beer. The store is called Beer Snacks. They are selling some snacks. And you wanted me to ask them, you have beer, can you get discount? I'm so embarrassed to ask that. I don't even want to translate it.
Yeah, Llama doesn't get my, or I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah, it was the store. Was it just like Beard Popper or something like that? Yeah. Or I don't know. It was like there's a store in China that sells whatever it's called, Beard Pop, and it's just a total joke. I mean, I'd go if there was some store in America that was just like called like Beard something. I'd go in there and ask if you could. It's totally just for fun, just casual. Like, hey, is there a discount if you have a beard? But like, I don't know. Lamu didn't even want to do it, and I made her do it. And then the person like looked at us like, no. And then like Lamu just got like so small, and I was just like, well, I'm just
so embarrassed.
Just joking. I mean, it's just I don't know.
I think it's fun.
Some things don't translate. But at the same time, I mean, so that's the thing. Like, could you go into Beard Papa and negotiate? Could you go in there and be like, yeah, I'm only going to pay you like half that?
No, that store doesn't negotiation.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Some store, if not franchise, you can't usually negotiate.
Interesting.
You got certain rules.
Oh, Orlando will barter. We'll see. Oh, 25. Well, I mean, the thing to remember when you're bartering is that they will never ever accept a deal that's less than what they paid for it, right? So you might as well try. But it's I don't I'm not very good at it. But if I get it down like a couple RMB, like I'm happy.
Yeah, we're actually trying to training Gemma's negotiation skills. Every time before she go to bed, she said she want to read books.
Yeah, I'll ask her, or I'll tell her like, Gemma, you can read 2 books before you go to bed. And she's like, how about 5? And I'm like,
How about 3?
What about 3? And she'll be like, Yeah, it's just kind of funny. Just kind of teaching her a little bit about that. But I really don't care how many books she reads.
That would be a good skill for future if she ever wants to do some Lotus tea.
Gonna send her out to do our primary tea haggling. Steamed Rice asks, have we named our tea pets?
one of this is called a 小油too.
Yeah, the little pig's called 小油的, which
It
means
means smaller fat belly.
fat belly, little fat belly. And but the rest of them, I've not really given them names. I've got so many here. I think it would just get confused. I mean, you got like the Toad King here. He's the boss. But yeah, I haven't really given them names. I know some people do. I just I don't know. Maybe I express my creativity in different ways. Jenny Paul, real talk. How do you haggle fairly? It's a good question. Sorry, I forgot to put it in your cup, Lamo.
Don't worry
I apologize. Yeah, it's a good question. Well, I mean, I think when you're in a country that actually does haggling, you have to understand that, and then you just understand that they will literally never sell it for less than what they can make money on. And the more you can negotiate, honestly, the more they respect you, which is kind of interesting. Like if you don't negotiate, which I don't like to do,
I don't know.
I think it is like because they'll just be like, wow, that dumb foreigner, like charged him twice. He didn't even know what he was doing, But then you can kind of, I think if you do it right, especially if you have fun with it, if you go in there really serious and mean, I think you can put them off. But if you go in there and kind of have some fun with it, and like make it really dramatic, like, oh my gosh, no way, you think this is my first time coming to China? I think you could have some fun with that. Just start trying to convince them that you're local. Just make just have fun with it. Joke around. I think you can have some fun with it. But if it's not something that you want to buy anyways, and like don't even bother.
Yeah, don't start a negotiation if you don't really want it.
Yeah. If
they agree with your price, then you have to buy. Otherwise, they will be really angry.
Yeah, because then they'll be mad, wasted all that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jenny's talking about pulling up at the McDonald's, at the Wendy's drive-thru. It's just like, well, I'll tell you what, guys. Like, how about we work out a little deal. She's like, your dollar menu should really be the 75-cent menu, if we're being honest here. So
the poor intern, those high school kids will be like, oh,
hate this job. Oh, Third Eye Biggie VM, turning on some Cyberpunk now. Nice. You're playing the game? You playing Cyberpunk 2077? You got a special build that you're going for? I think I decided to. I wanted to kind of be like a sneaky hacker, and then I realized that I didn't really like the hacking. I thought it took a little too long, and I found like little mono wire like cyber whip like from Johnny Mnemonic, and I've been enjoying that greatly. Just whipping people with an electric wire. It's a fun game. I've been enjoying it. Yeah, Lucy haggles on touristy things, but food, handcrafted items, I don't try too hard. There's a lot of really fun handcrafted items in Kunming. They'll sit there on the street and like carve like beads and stuff for you and
polish the beads
and things.
It's fun.
Third Eye Boogie VM beat the game very quick. Felt it was too short. You're just too good. You're just too good. I'm taking my time on the side quests. I really kind of like. I'm not really I don't consider myself like a completionist in video games, but I really want to. I want to have like more of an immersive experience. I want to feel it out and spend a lot of time like digging around, exploring, having some fun, build a relationship, and then have the game kill off everybody that I care about, which is apparently just what CDPR loves to do. But I guess that makes the story a little bit more interesting. Yeah, well, it's funny. You got these, you got like the main quest line that is always like pressuring you, like Tanaka or whoever is like always messaging me like, dude, I'm sitting here waiting, and I'm like, yeah, you're gonna wait for like 5 more days because it's more important for me to do like 500 side quests while you're sitting there waiting in a restaurant for me to like come and like finally have a conversation that moves the main quest forward and stuff like that. I think that's kind of funny, but that's how I want to play it. I want to do all the fun little side quests. Found like there's so many like good like Easter eggs and hidden jokes and stuff in there. Like found one the other day, like the guy from The Office. Do you guys remember the who's he? He's like the janitor that works in the office, like that Japanese guy. And then like the one time, like the guy's like, dude, you got to hear this story. And he's like, Japan brain surgeon, #1 Japan. Remember him like going off about that? He's just like, I accidentally kill Yakuza boss. Well, there's a whole subplot about like that character getting like smuggled into Night City, and you pull him out of some freezer, and he got smuggled in, and he's like, brain surgeon, #1 Japan. I thought that was so funny. just cracked me up. Lamu is not playing. Lamu,
I'm watching.
Lamu watched me play, and she watched for like half an hour while I'm at the character creation screen, and she's just like, how long does it take to make your character?
I want to see the action. Oh my goodness.
How many noses do you have to try? I'm like, I gotta get my character to look good. And then it turns out that literally the only decision you need to worry about is like what color you make your fingernails, because it's first person perspective. You almost never see your character, and your fingernail choice will be the only thing that you see because it's on the screen for all your guns. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah,
but
that was so funny.
And she doesn't understand what like an RPG is. You're like, you're playing a role. You have to have a conversation. It's like in depth. And so after like watching me spend 45 minutes build my character, then she goes and watches me play the game for 45 minutes, which is like all talking, and she's like,
oh my goodness,
if you don't get into some action, like, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm like, fine. So I had to walk around and try and like kill somebody, and then she's like, this game's really boring.
Yeah.
so she hasn't watched me play it since
then.
Perspective. I'll message her. I'm like, Lamu, you gotta come over, check this out. She's like, I don't even want to. Like, I got this new thing. She's like, I don't care. So no, Lamu's not playing it. It's tricky if you didn't really grow up, with like consoles and stuff like that. If I gave her the controllers, it would be really difficult for her to figure out be able to make the character do what she wanted it to do the same way that I can. So she actually likes watching and telling me what to do, just not on this game because there's just way too much talking. Is this a stag? Yes, it is a stag kettle. I like everything about it except for the pour, because the pour is insanely slow. But it just helps me to take time and be in the team moment. I still don't. I want a faster pour. I want a faster pour.
This shop pour is exactly like what I like about shop pour.
Yes,
flavor.
Very, very, very mellow. Very mellow and chill. Gongfu and chill. This is a very nice follow-up. This was I actually let Lamu choose the tea today. She's like, let's do Jade Rabbit and the Huang Pian Mega Brick. I'm like, perfect. We're gonna do it. If I had followed Orlando's suggestion of steep and strong, a heavy session of Baby Dragon, I would be wired till 5 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah, I would never leave the money behind. Lucy, you know me too well. I need to leave the thing out there and pick it up.
Oh yeah, Llama would be. It's really fun to play like Diablo with Llama, because Llama just runs around and just picks up money. Yeah. That's all she cares about. It's just like
Diablo. I only need to push one button.
Just one button. Click one button.
I can kill everybody with that button. It's awesome.
Yep. Orlando says his wife enjoys her time when we're being yelled at for pressing the wrong buttons or running out of health at the wrong time. Yeah, there's been a couple, what was it, like Halloween, like first year we got married, I went and bought like a bunch of like super scary video games, and then we sat down and like turned all the lights down, and then it was just like Deep Space or whatever.
That one is fun because there's monsters.
Yeah, a lot of like monsters, and everything's like jump out and scary. And so Lamo really enjoyed that one. That was a super cinematic, not as much focus on shooting type stuff. And so she really enjoyed like telling me like go there, and like no, not that, kill that guy.
Nice I'm not playing, so I'm not that scared.
Yeah.
So you were watching it.
Yeah, that was So was it Deep Space? What's the name of that? Dead Space. There you go, Mr. Remakes. Sorry, fun, really fun game. I enjoyed that, but I don't think we've. That was actually fun. Yeah, that was our first Halloween. Bought a bunch of like, secondhand games from secondhand scary games, and played them all. That was pretty fun. I love horror games too. I have not been able to spend much time gaming in the last 10 years since I got married, started the tea business, and kids. And so this is Cyberpunk 2077 was the first time I was like, you know what, I really want to play this game. I'm going to I'm going to invest some time, because it actually has to come down to like an investment. Like, where am I going to be spending the handful of hours that I have when I'm not doing everything else? So I have not played hardly anything in the last 10 years. In fact, the last big game I probably played was the first Red Dead Redemption, probably. Third Eye Boogie VM, keyboard and mouse is harder for some people. Are you saying you actually have it on console? Yeah, I do, and I'm playing it on PlayStation 4. I don't even own one. I had to borrow one. So I find that if I don't have a gaming console, then I won't be tempted to actually play things which I don't have time to play. So I borrowed a PlayStation 4, and so I'm playing it on PlayStation 4. I don't have a gaming PC. In fact, I don't have any PC that's newer than 7 years old. So. I do that kind of intentionally. I don't want to build a gaming PC because then I'd be using it, and I really just don't have the time. So on this one, for Cyberpunk 2077, I made an exception. It is a PS4 Pro, so I mean it's still glitchy, but you know what? I'm not gonna whine. I'm not gonna complain. It's got a handful of issues. It, like crashes every couple hours, but it's the first week. It's game's first week out. I give them CDPR was incredibly ambitious on this game, but I'm enjoying it, and I am focusing on the positives, which is what everybody should do this year. I kind of feel pretty bad about the amount of negativity that CDPR has gotten from people. I've worked in the game industry, and I tell you what, it's not as fun as people make it out to be, because customers make it really, 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 really painful for the people. It's almost it's super hard to keep gaming customers happy. So I'm not going to give CDPR any slack, because I have been enjoying playing the game, and I'm going to continue enjoying playing the game. Oh, yes. Third Eye Boogie VM encountered a guy yesterday that had a problem with a sex robot. His crotch was burning. Had to drive him to the hospital. I did that quest yesterday as well. I thought that was pretty funny. That was that guy was loud. He complained a lot. Are we going to see a rum barrel drop before the holidays? Wondering if I'd be able to put it under holiday expenses. I don't know if we can get one ready before the holidays, but I think we should try to get one like the week after Christmas.
Yeah, but we just don't know how long is shipping gonna take.
Well, we know how long shipping is going to take. It's going to take 2 hours. You will get it in time for the Ides of March, probably.
Valentine's here.
Mr. Remakes, get the game. It's a buggy mess, but a lot of games are. Absolutely. At the end of the day, what's important is you enjoy it. I'm absolutely enjoying it. So I'm focusing on the positives. I'm not, if I haven't played every single major release in the last 10 years, this game looks amazing to me, even on the PS4 Pro. Sure, there's people on super high-end gaming machines with 3000 series mega Nvidia monster cards and stuff like that. They spent $6,000 to build their machine, and it looks like it's real life, and that's great. I'm glad that people have that capacity, but I'm more than happy to play it on the PS4, and I'm having a ton of fun playing it. It is scratching my gaming itch. So I'll play through a playthrough, and then I'll probably not play anymore for a while, because it is definitely taking a lot out of my day. But it's fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
Third Eye Boogie VM really wants to get into the gaming industry. You should. You absolutely should. It's not as hard as people think, and it is definitely nice to work for entertainment focused companies. It's just a little bit more chill. But I tell you, man, if you're working for one of the big names, like the EAs or something like that, you're not going to have a lot of fun. Those are tough companies to work for. They are absolutely brutal. They will work you to death, and they do that intentionally. And they just say, hey, well, you're working in the games industry, so we can treat you like this, because if you don't want to work in the games industry, go work somewhere else, because there's 50 people that right behind you that are gonna be willing to put that down.
They probably pay really well too.
No, not at the low level. They don't. they don't pay well because you're working for a game company, right? You know, like that's your benefit. You're working for a game company. The best game companies to work out there are like the smaller shops. If you can find like a small indie shop to work for, you know, maybe a company that has, you know, like less than 20 people, less than 50 people, you can have a lot more fun, a lot more rewarding experience, and you'll actually probably be able to have more impact on the actual game than if you were working for like a super big company. But that's just my 2 cents on it. More than 2 cents, like 12 cents. Oh, let's see, what do we got? Lucy, you got a 3060 Ti? Is that what you're rocking? Is that what you're watching us on the big screen right now? Let's see. Jenny says there's people whose entire careers in the video game industry is story, concept, narrative development. Yeah, tons of ideas for games, no way to execute. Yeah, that's tough. That's the really interesting thing is there is no end to ideas in the game industry. Everyone has a great idea for a game, but it's actually like that execution part. That's everything. And either, you know, you present your idea to some company and then they run with it and you get some like tiny scratch of a percentage, or they just like steal it outright, or you got to do it all yourself. But yeah, that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. Like there's no end to good ideas for games, but it's about what can actually get done, what you can actually get done. Bungie gets her vote. I love Bungie. I'm not a big fan of the whole Halo thing, but the old school. The old school '90s Bungie, the marathon series of games. That was my main jam back in the day. The Oni games. In fact, I found a whole bunch of my old game CDs, my original like marathon install CDs. That's my old school Bungie love. Abuse, yes, wow. Jenny knows. Jenny's got some old school gamer. That's like 1994. That's like pre-marathon side scroller Bungie game. And what was that game with like the dwarven RPG or real-time strategy that they did? I can't remember the name of that one. That was a interesting one. I was always a fan of Bungie. Zealousy, Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is a great game. I let Lamu play that on my Nintendo DS a couple of years ago. Was it a DS? Yeah, DS I had. It was a fun game. Video games absolutely need more gongfu cha on them. I'm a little bit surprised that I didn't see much gongfu type stuff in Cyberpunk 2077. I think especially like in like Japantown or something like that. Like some of the Japanese bosses or some of the Chinese bosses should definitely have had some they should have had some T focus and stuff on there. It was European produced, so I mean they've got should have been somebody on the team over there that could have given a wink and a nod to get some gongfu going in there. Amazon does have a games division now. That's right. Amazon's also another company that I would not want to work for. I've interviewed with them a handful of times back in the day, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't get those positions. Amazon is also pretty
tough place.
Pretty brutal. They've got this concept of like 1 year at Amazon, like dog years. They call it dog years. Like 1 year at Amazon is like 7 years at another company, and like they will.
You won't have time to do anything.
They work you really really hard. I mean, it depends on where you're at, but. Aaron, drinking some Hidden Song, so good. Gone Hop, Myth. That was it. That was the name of it. Myth. Man, you guys, everybody, this is awesome. I'm among my people. You guys all know Myth. Myth was the Bungie real-time strategy-ish game from mid-90s. I played a decent amount of that. But for me, it was always Marathon Infinity, Marathon 2, Durandal, all those games. Played a lot of those games. That's what I did it. Jenny says you can make tea in Stardew Valley, but there's some really good. You can make your farm into a tea farm with different teas. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. I think even World of Warcraft gave a little bit of a nod to the tea thing. I think in the Mists of Pandaria, you could the panda Ren could go and, you know, like harvest tea in the mountains and things. I think they could have like really fleshed out like the crafting on that, but it was pretty basic. It's just like, this is a tree, this is a leaf. You pick it and then all of a sudden it's like tea or something like that. But it would have been really cool if they had actually like fleshed that out a little bit more and actually put some actual thought into like the crafting process behind tea and implement it into the game. I think it could have been really, really rewarding and educational. Yeah, I think there was some tea in Deus Ex, Third Eye Boogie. I can't remember. It's been a long time. The original Deus Ex was also a game that I really enjoyed. Really enjoyed playing. Funny story. I was actually in Austin about 8 years ago and at a bar with the producer for the original Deus Ex. That was really fun. That was definitely one of the first like long format like story games that I really enjoyed playing. And long format back then is entirely different than now. Long format now is playing a game for 200 hours. Back then, I think the original Deus Ex had a relatively short playthrough, but I really enjoyed the really interesting early storyline. That's when I learned I really like following like the stealth ninja like hacker route, trying to go through the entire game with like out killing somebody or something like that. I thought it was kind of fun. Yeah, Lucy, Amazon has a terrible culture, absolutely terrible culture. And I've got a lot of friends that have worked at Amazon, spent time at Amazon. One guy is, like really high-end, like web design developer. Like the guy had a lot of skills. Left a company that we were at, like moved up a notch to Amazon. Gets in there, and I mean, this guy had like incredible development skills. And his job there, like they said, yeah, you're going to be working in like the Kindle division. You're going to be doing like development on stuff, like had all these promises. And he was editing typos in children's Kindle books. Like that was it. And they were paying him $150,000 a year, and he lasted 2 weeks. He's just like, screw this. Like, no, this is not. And then they're like, oh, well, like you put in your year, put in your first year, get your half vest in, like you're gonna be able to make move to any apartment in the. And he's just like, no, like done. And he's like, no, like this isn't it. No, I'm not gonna spend a year editing typos in like kids' Kindle books. So, like I came here to like do development, and so he was really mad. And so he just left and went somewhere else to someplace that respected his skills and probably made even more money. Yeah. But yeah, that's one tricky thing I learned in the industry, or one thing I didn't learn in the industry actually. Yeah, you're not respected if you actually stay at a company in the software industry at all. They will not respect you. That company that you work for does not care that you've been there 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. They don't care. The only way you gain respect and the only way you move up in the software industry is to jump ship to another company and do it every 2 years. Set yourself a window. If you guys are working in the software industry and you want to be respected, 24 months is the longest you should stay at a company. And then you should move to another company and get that company to pay you more. Because if you're not working at a tech company, they don't want to hire you. But if you are working at a tech company, they definitely want to hire you and they will pay for it. And you just sit there and you just bounce up, and you can do quite well. That is something that I did not learn until it was too late. But that's how you do it. That's the trick. That's the trick to the software industry, in my experience. Jenny's had friends that work at Amazon. It's made them suicidal. I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all. I think they've actually had suicides in the Amazon buildings in Seattle. People have killed themselves there. It's a horrible place to work. You do get physically sick. They will tell you that they are your family, but that is absolutely not true. Yeah. Don't believe them. Mr. Remakes, just occurred to me that the panda people are called Pandaren, right? Panda people. Yes, I know, right? We see this and we read these words. It's in World of Warcraft. They're called the but we pronounce it Pandaren, right? Like the mists of Pandaren, right?
Sounds
but it's
like
it's Pandaren. It's kind of funny. Oh, we play a joke with our kids, or we play a little game with our kids. Muto means stone, right? Wood. Muta means wood, and we call we play a game with Gemma where she's got to like stay really still like a statue, and we call her like a wood person, or Muto Run. She'll try and be like really still, like she's made out of wood. It's kind of fun. We just call her wood person. Yeah. Orlando says if an RPG game isn't at least 100 hours, it's not worth the time. Yeah, absolutely. If you are playing a role, if it is a role-playing game, you really want it to be long format. You know, you're putting your time and effort into it for sure. Skyrim and Fallout New Vegas spoiled us. Yeah, there's been a lot of like really like mega like long format games, and that's kind of what I'm kind of hoping to play. I'm not being super quick about Cyberpunk 2077. I want to kind of like live in the world. The last one I did that with was the first Red Dead Redemption. In fact, I specifically didn't finish the final quest because I was just enjoying like being on a horse and racing around and hunting deer and getting in gunfights and stuff, and then finally finished the final quest, and then realized that, well, I'm not going to spoil that if anybody hasn't played it by now. There's like a whole second game. Like after you finish the first game, I didn't even realize it. Blew my mind. Amazon delivery isn't so bad. Yeah, no. If you can, I mean, it all depends on what you can make from it and what you're looking for. I've heard it's pretty tough working in the packing factories specifically. Like they don't let you have to wear like diapers, so they don't let you take like restroom breaks and things like that. Seriously, there have been some really tough issues.
Oh my goodness.
You know, and so everyone was complaining, like, oh, we want to play, like, we want to be paid more, and so then Amazon's like, fine, we'll pay you more, and now all your benefits are gone. So I mean, there was a balance, and so now they're all working. They get a couple dollars more per hour, but now they lost all the benefits were actually pretty decent. So yeah, there's always a balance of big companies like that. They've got to make their money. Zealousy says, if you have one 8 to 10 gram sample of tea gifted to you, would you drink it in a gaiwan, genshui, or other teapot? Personally, I would put it in a gaiwan because I would be very curious about like the actual experience of the tea itself, and I think gaiwans are more experience neutral. But I think we've probably had this conversation before. Or you could ask the person who brewed it, you know, or who gave it to you what they would recommend.
Are you gonna brew like 8-10 grams at one time? Because if you can brew twice, then you can try gaiwan. Then you can try the.
Yeah,
teapot.
I guess you could split it out into. I personally, I'd probably prefer to have like one big session than two small sessions.
Yeah, probably gaiwan's a good idea. You know,
that's just me. Yep, side quests for days. You're right, Jenny. That's me. I'm on the side quest route right here. Jenny Paul, love Red Dead Redemption. Zombie version's fun too. I didn't like the zombie version as much. I was just not as entertained with I was kind of burnt out on the whole like make every game a zombie game at that point in time. So, but yeah, the main Red Dead, such a good game. I mean, I'm a fan of like the American Southwest and cowboys and westerns and all that stuff anyway. So it was just candy for me. Love that game. How's the tea? This tea is really nice. This was the perfect tea to end the session on because we kind of get a little wired. The sheng pu'er like brings us up, and then the show pu'er just kind of just mellows straight down.
Better.
Works out nice. The sheng show combo.
Good night, Michelle.
Oh, Michelle. Yeah, it's pretty late over there. Thanks for joining us for tea. It's probably 2:30 or something right now.
Yeah.
Excuse me, maybe 1:30. Thank you, Michelle, for joining us. It's awesome. Always like having tea with you guys. Let's see. Lucy has friends in HR, Amazon HR. It's rough there too. Oh, I would not want to work in HR at a company. I mean, just in I grew up and started off working for companies thinking like HR was there to help me, and when realizing very hard realization that HR is there to help the company.
Yeah.
they are there to use you as a resource for the company. You are a human resource, and they are not there. They are there to keep the managers in managerial positions, and they will get rid of you if you make waves because you're messing up the ecosystem, the top-down ecosystem in companies. And so I found that out a few times. It was I was very dense getting started off in the industry. Human resources is not there to help you. And I think if somebody actually went into human resources thinking that they were going to be like helping employees, I think it might be very difficult for them to realize how employees actually get treated in these companies. I would not want to work for human resources. Absolutely not. Oh man, this tea is nice. Orlando asks about a sheng shou mixture. We do that sometimes. I won't really do it in the brewer, but I will mix it after the fact. Little sheng, little shou, mix it in. You can get some really nice experiences that very very similar to an aged sheng experience. Mixing a little shou with some young sheng, and you get some really nice combo experiences. Yeah. Jenny Paul's made that mistake too and learned it hard. Yeah, that's pretty much the only way to learn it. You learn it hard. You know, you've got like, you know, the HR manager brings you in like, hey man, just want you to be just, hey, you know, like anything, you know, like anything is on the table right now. We can talk about anything, you know. So, you know, I know you were having some trouble with this guy here. Like, hey, let's just talk about it. Let's work it out. I'm like, great. Like, that would be awesome. And like, here's it. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like it down. It's like, that's great. And we're not going to listen to anything you said. And you don't have to work here anymore. Like, I see what you did there. I see it. Gotcha.
Oh, wow.
That's
Good thing we don't have an HR department in our tea company.
We don't. We don't have an HR department. We are our HR department. Yeah, I guess. Mr. Remakes, everything you've heard about corporate culture makes me never want to work for a corporation. It depends on what you make of it. You know, if you look at it the way, let's say, if you look at corporate culture the way an athlete looks at a sponsor, the athlete has something that they want to do. They want to play a sport, and arguably that's entertainment, right? I mean, there's people, and it's super lucky if you can actually spend your life playing a game. And if you look at the sponsors, the corporate sponsors, like these people are putting money into what you want to do with your life. If you look at corporate culture that way, go to your job, work the 8 hours, and then spend the rest of your days, the rest of your hours doing what you want to do, but pretend that like that company is your corporate sponsor for what your real life is. You have to have a strong separation between vocation and avocation. Don't fall into the like, hey, they're my family thing. No, you know, and work hard to work as little as possible if you're salaried, right? If you've got a salary, they're paying you 40 hours a week, like, man, you got to be like super tough about it. Like, work that 40 hours a week, and that's the only way that you can get ahead. And then just pretend that they're sponsoring you. And if you can have that focus on it, that actually changes a lot of things, because you can actually put up with a lot of crap. And because hey, they're paying you to do what you really want to do. It's just one way I kind of thought about it. Jenny, Crimson Lotus Tea is us. This is it. This is the Crimson Lotus Tea team. 50-50. 50-50. We've got the baby boss now. No, this is a personal business, and you know, this is how we try to make ends meet. We actually both still work outside. I still work in software part time. She does CPA, accounting stuff. Tax related things, and yeah, we just but this is something that we're passionate about, and this is it. This is the Crimson Lotus team. Orlando, how far do your HR complaints go? They go right into the garbage. Actually, they don't. They go into a special file, and if that file gets too big because you've complained too much, then you go and then they throw it away. Yes. And software companies are brutal, absolutely brutal at letting people go. Absolutely brutal. And
yeah, you tell me they would just let you know like that day.
Yeah.
Then you have to pack up.
The last software company I worked for, I had like an early morning Friday meeting with my boss, which is a little bit unusual. It's over Skype. I was working from home, and but I was like, okay. And so like I joined the call, and HR's on it. I'm like, oh, okay. And then it was just like, well, kind of know what's going on. And I'm like, I guess so. And they're like, so all your accounts are currently frozen, and there's going to be a courier at your door in about 10 minutes to take your laptop and anything else that you have that's company property. And thanks for working with us. here's the package that you got. If you say anything bad about us in the next year, then we take all that money back. You don't get it. You got to agree to that. And then they're like, if you don't want to agree with that, then you don't get your 2-week severance package. And you're like, thanks, guys. Great to work with you for 5 years.
Yeah, I think you told me like some of the employee when they got the boss, the manager even
Didn't even know.
So, like,
And one of the other tricks is, like, there's a lot of laws around like letting people go, and you're not allowed to like let more of your company go in a certain percentage in a given year. Actually, you're not allowed to let a percentage of your company go in a single cut. So what they'll do is they'll just randomly fire 3 people every week for 6 months, and then they don't have to make like a big statewide announcement about like actually like a downsizing event, and then won't affect like stock price and things. So for a while at the one company I was at, every Monday morning we would like check the internal people tool, see that it had shrunk by 3 people, and then we'd have to try and figure out like who had actually gotten fired like the Friday before, and sometimes it would be somebody I worked with, and then I wouldn't even know, like an employee that actually reported to me was just gone. I'm like, you guys could have given me the heads up, because I still got to get work done, and now I don't have anybody to do it. And they're like, well, you want to complain? No. Okay. All right.
That's a trap.
Yes. Ken. That's right. Ken and I have actually worked together at a local software company. Ken and I both worked for Real Networks. We worked on the Real Player team. Anybody remember Real Player, Real Audio, Real Video, Real Jukebox, Real anything? They're gone. I don't even know what they do anymore. Ken, do you still work for them? You can't. If you said getting laid off on your birthday, that sucks, man. That's tough. Well, Real had these events where they would randomly like lay off like 15% of the company, and you wouldn't know until you came into work. And if your key card worked, you were let into the building. If the key card didn't, they told you to go home. And everybody whose key card worked was brought into a conference room, and they were all told, great, you're all fired. And so...
Oh, so those people go home, didn't get fired?
Yeah, it's just the people that got let into the building, because they wanted them all in one place, like away from their computers, so they couldn't like hack. Horrible practices. Horrible practices. Yeah, who remembers Real Player? Like, can you imagine like the company that had like the edge on internet video streaming long before like Shockwave Flash did, long before YouTube, long before any of them, and they're gone. Like, they're just gone. Like, they took the edge that they had and just squandered it on useless stuff. Just they were the number one streaming platform in the world, and they're, who knows what they do now? Nobody knows. Like, it's just bizarre. Oh, John, you ditched your comp sci major back in college. It's what you make of it. But I am much happier working in tea. Absolutely happier working in tea and working on my own business. I can set my own hours. That basically means I'm always working. But I am going to play a little Cyberpunk 2077 tonight. This was a fun tea tasting.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us.
Really appreciate you guys. Joining. This is fun. We really enjoy doing this. It gives us a chance to feel like we're actually having tea with you guys, sitting down. So we certainly appreciate the time that you guys take to join us and chat and make it a fun session. So I appreciate it, and we'll I guess it's Christmas. It's Christmas. Just a couple days.
Yeah, next week.
Just a couple days. We're gonna have Christmas. Christmas is a lot more fun with kids, and our kids are definitely looking forward to it. I'm very excited to have a fun Christmas. So if you guys don't have kids in your life, get kids. Christmas will be a lot more fun.
Yeah.
I don't take that advice seriously unless you actually really want kids.
It's a lot of work. But watching them open gifts.
Open gifts.
I'm happy they're just I got a gift.
So excited, and just like the magic of the lights. And so we had this little, we've got a like a full size tree that's all decorated with all sorts of fun ornaments. The kids helped. And we also have like this small little tree, and the small tree like disappeared the other day. And we're like, where did this small tree go? And then we look at the big tree, and like all of Gemma's little ornaments are gone. And then we realized she had taken it to her room, and she set it up in her room with all of her little ornaments, and she wanted like her own tree, like in the room with like her own little ornaments. And it was like her own, it was just so adorable that she set up her own like special little space, and she wanted to like have like the same experience that the family was having, but she wanted to have it herself in her room. And I thought that was super cool. It's just yeah. So Christmas is so much more fun with kids. So, anyways, like I said, I appreciate it. This is a lot of fun. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. And then we'll
Merry
see you
Christmas.
guys on the day before
Wednesday,
Christmas.
actually the day before Christmas, Wednesday afternoon
TDB,
to
yeah,
Thursday
James.
with James from TDB. It's going to be fun. We're going to talk a lot about tea and tea industry and pu'er
Probably
tea and
not HR.
his
not
experiences.
video
I
game.
don't think we're going to talk about HR or video games or we might talk about video games. Not sure what James does, but it should be fun, and I hope you guys can tune in. Thank you so much for contributing to the chat, and we'll see you guys soon. Thanks, and happy steeping.
Happy steeping.